trickle on in. Well, welcome on in to your therapy session, ladies and gentlemen. Today, it's a safe place. Right now, it is a safe place. Right now, you need to get it off your chest, all right? You need to let it go. You need to let it free because I know we're all sitting here feeling some type of way. Rightfully so. Rightfully so. So after I go through my opinions and my thoughts and stuff like that, today I decided we're gonna do things a little bit differently. I invite you guys to join the Discord. There's a tab in the voice channel section called Brown's Therapy. I'm gonna let you guys come on and voice your opinion and let the fans be heard. So if you guys want to take parts in that, um, you guys can go over to my Discord right now. Link is in the bio. Um, and join the therapy tab, and we'll let you guys hop on here and have a good time. As long as you keep it respectful. You can go, you can do what you want. Keep it respectful. Don't have me had to ban you. Um, but yeah, so I'm gonna let you guys go ahead and and voice your opinions. But let's get into it. What up, Hunter? Our Turbo, what up? Our fantasy league this week was fun. I think I was winning last I checked in most of my leagues except one. Hydro, what up? AJ, is our O line really that bad? It really is. Browns are literally the worst team in the league right now. You might be right. We cooked. Time to look forward to the draft. I'm not looking forward to the draft yet. Oh, I lost to you, Turbo. Yeah. So you that league and I think my Yahoo league I lost. I think I lost 2 or 3 this week. I'm in like 4 or 7 leagues, bro. Deshaun is not the only problem. Facts. Why can't run the ball? It beats me, bro. We need to promote HC. Owen, what's going on? At least you got your fantasy team. Facts. $250 mistake. Are the Browns cooked? All right, let's get into it. Because there's a lot of blame to go around, and us as a fan base, we've never been more divided. It's crazy that what one player can do to an organization as far as the divide and how everything feels, because this feels like old Browns. Let's be real. This feels like old Browns. But if since we're playing the blame game and this is therapy, it's best to voice what you think and your thoughts and your feelings and um and all of that good jazz. But let's do what everybody wants to do right now. Let's stroke people's egos and let's play blame game. So where do we start? Well, you are what your record says you are. You're 1-4. There's no beating around that bush. Um, we're trash until we decide that we're not, and that is the reality. Is as hard as it is for me to sit here and say that. Jimmy Haslam. I just saw a report. Actually, let's see if we can pull it up on Twitter. Let's see if we can actually pull it up on Twitter real quick. I think I bookmarked it. Right here. I did bookmark it. Let me put it up here for YouTube and Twitter and everybody. So this guy Jason Lloyd. A lot of people don't like Jason Lloyd. Damn it. My fault, y'all. My fault, TikTok. I know y'all trying to see it. Just give me a second. Yeah. This big ass monitor. He said this is what he wrote from the NFL owners meeting after the Browns acquired Deshaun Watson. I think we have the answer of which way this went. Make no mistake, this is the defining moment of the Haslam family ownership. Watson will either absolve them of 10 years of mistakes and serve as their tombstone. Desperation was born out of a decade of frustration and fury. To the credit, the Haslam's have never hid from their multitude of errors. Being minority partners in the Steelers didn't prepare them for what awaited in Cleveland. Pittsburgh had Kevin Colbert, Mike Tomlin, and Ben Roethlisberger established in the organization most important roles. As a result, Jimmy joked he and D were fitted with Super Bowl rings before they even had to pay for their equity. It all seems so easy. They have spent the last decade trying to replicate the combination of talent and stability in Pittsburgh. They never come close. It's probably fair to say that we didn't know what we were doing, Jimmy said Tuesday in a lengthy sit down with a small group of Cleveland reporters. 10 years, we haven't won very many games. Now the Haslams are trying to buy their way out. So let's start from the top. Jimmy Haslam was trying to be, you know what I mean, Jerry Jones, and we know how that story works out. We know how that never works. And he's while he's trying to sit here and run a business, he's obviously too involved. And I think that's where we go down to that next level. While he's cutting he's cutting the checks. He's doing a lot. He's doing good as far as that. He's cutting the checks. But at the same time, he's too involved. So which goes to the next step, Paul Podesta and Jimmy Haslam, or Paul Podesta and Andrew Berry. Paul Podesta has some blame in this somewhere, some way, shape, or form. But we don't know exactly what this mother lover does. We have no clue what Paul Podesta does, yet he is super involved in this, and we know that. How do we know that he's super involved? But we don't know exactly what he does. He's in there somehow. Andrew Berry. Y'all know me. And Berry we trust. I'm going to ride with Andrew Berry until the wheels fall off. That's just the type of guy that I am. Just like I did with Baker. Just like I tried to do with Stefanski. Just like I got to do with Watson. Just like I do with every player on this team. I'm going to ride until the wheels fall off, right? Andrew Berry. While I was Mr. Running Back. I talked about this yesterday on the live stream if you guys were in here. While I was Mr. Running Back, we sat here and watched other teams add talent. We watched our offensive line come back and think because they looked great last year that they were going to pick up and DeJuan Jones was going to take that next step and Jed was going to come back and be serviceable like he has been. I mean, I'm not sitting here saying he's been world-class or great or even above good, but he's been serviceable. You thought you were going to get Jerry Jeudy and the separation that we all overhyped, myself included, that this receiving corps was going to be way better than what they were. They're trash. Like, we can't catch a cold in the winter right now. We can't even run the ball. Our run game is non-existent. We ran the ball 23 times yesterday, but that didn't come until garbage time. Our leading rusher we had 4 carries for 4 yards with Foreman, and 1 rush for 2 yards with our 2 running backs in the first half of the game. We passed the ball 6 consecutive times off of that turnover. We didn't run the ball 1 time when we got down in the red zone. My fault. I'm supposed to be on Andrew Berry right now. I'm getting into the game. Andrew Berry not putting the talent where it needs to be in this offseason is staying patent. We got the blame there. You can talk about the blunder trade. 13 other teams wanted Deshaun Watson. 4 of them were ready to fork up money just like the Browns were. It's not like we were the only team to try to make a move for Deshaun Watson. He dropped the ball on it. It's plain and simple like that. Now we move on. And the biggest problem, in my opinion, they kind of go hand in hand. Watson and Stefanski go hand in hand. But honestly, I've seen it's not like it'd be different if I saw Baker Mayfield thrive in this offense. It'd be different if I saw Jacoby Brissett thrive, but Jacoby Brissett's ceiling is exactly what we saw. We saw Joe Flacco, blow the top off of defenses, but was that Kevin Stefanski's doing or was that Joe Flacco? Because he just threw for 350 in Indy without Kevin Stefanski. So I'm starting to believe that it was just Joe Flacco that was the system. With that being said, Kevin Stefanski has been running the same BS teeth-pulling offense for as long as I can remember. And we've only had 1 season out of the 4 seasons where we found ways to win. Do you guys remember that? Like, the great teams find ways to win. How many times have we sat here and said we found ways to win? Last year, that's it. I can't think of any other season when we sat here and said, damn, we found ways to win. and when we weren't supposed to win. We were getting ref calls. Was 2020 one of those seasons where we found ways to win? I don't even think 2020 was one of those seasons because everybody was dealing with the pandemic. And you had Ivy League guys who thrive in the situation that was a controlled environment. So, I mean, in a sense, it was an anomaly because the next year after that, it was a complete bleep show. So, as much as we want to sit here and say 2020 looked good, it still didn't look great. The end of that game, we scored 20 points in that Chiefs playoff game when he was calling the plays. We always have been carried by our defense. The second we got rid of Joe Woods, it was inevitable. We were just overshadowed by Joe Woods' trash scheme, and look at what happened. So the only thing that hasn't changed in the 5 years on our offense, we've went through different running backs, we've went through different receivers, we went through different linemen, we've went through different offensive line coaches, we've went through new offensive coordinators now. Well, Kevin Stefanski is the one thing that hasn't changed. And I just don't understand how we don't see that as a whole, as an organization. Now moving down, Deshaun Watson, damn show ain't lived up to the $230 million contract. That's for certain. I'm turning on every other TV. I mean, I'm looking at every other quarterback, and I'm seeing passes completed downfield. I'm seeing balls being thrown with anticipation. I'm seeing guys being thrown open. I watched Kirk Cousins put on a clinic off of an injury that was an Achilles. I'm seeing Joe Burrow throw for 5 touchdowns. Granted, they lost. I'm seeing Joe Burrow or Joe Flacco in Indy go crazy. Lamar Jackson looks like a 3-time MVP. Josh Allen was looking like an MVP just a couple weeks ago. Baker Mayfield. The list goes on and on and on and on and on. And all these quarterbacks are playing with, I'm sure, problems just like we are. And granted, it's not as much. And he's not making the throws to back up the price tag. We already know that. That's what's understood doesn't need to be explained. Everybody that has the criticism of Deshaun, it's already been said. There's nothing new that I can say to you that's going to be different than what we see on the field. It's not good enough, period. Moving down the totem pole, who do we go to next? Or no, we do got to keep going on to Watson because the areas that he could be better in, he hasn't been better in. When he does have a clean pocket, he's collapsing it himself at most times. Not all the time, but I mean, I guess that comes with the pressure and the offensive line being trash. So that kind of makes sense, right? But I just don't understand. Like, is it really the offensive line don't want to play for 4? Does this team really not want to ride with 4? But then I hear, but this is what kills me. This is what kills me. No one says anything. No one's tweeting Myles Garrett and saying, "Bro, give the paycheck up. Why are you supporting Deshaun Watson? Give it up. He's trash. He's not." No one's doing that. But they see all these people on Fox Sports and all these other things, and they be like, "Look, everybody thinks we should bench Deshaun Watson." And I get what everybody's gonna say. What is he supposed to say? He's not gonna ride with him. It's a difference between just saying what you need to say and actually riding. Myles Garrett is literally doing the same thing what you guys are saying Deshaun Watson supporters are doing. Yet you guys aren't tweeting him and bashing him. That's the only reason why I'm sitting here and I'm just confused because it's such a divide. It's just like it was with Odell when Odell was in the locker room. You had half of the locker room who was riding with Odell, and you had some people in the locker room that probably didn't like Odell. It's literally the same situation. So that's the only reason why I sit here and be like, yeah, we can't just give up on 4 yet because the players that are playing for this dude, the ones actually going out there and playing the plays are still riding with Deshaun Watson. So I'm forced to do the same thing. Moving forward, the offensive line. They told us it. They told us it. I'm going to keep saying it. They told us this. This shouldn't even be a surprise of how bad the offensive line is because all off season they told us it was the worst that they've seen in a decade. They said it. It's the worst it's been in a decade. They said it that the Dawand Jones looks like he took a step back. He doesn't look the same. We had 2, 3 guys on projection to come back week 1, and the guy still hasn't strapped up yet. One of them still hasn't strapped up yet, being Jack Conklin. The Dawand Jones experiment, I'm pretty much over right now. I don't think he's like I don't think he's not. I can't even say here and say I don't think he's not trying, because it doesn't look like anybody on the offensive line is trying right now. But I need to see Conklin. I need some kind of change. This is what I wanted to clip, and I wanted to make a video, because since I'm getting into the next, we just gonna get past the O line. We know how trash they are. But while I'm on it, real quick, Dawand Jones just boo boo. Jed, we can trade him. Joel, he's probably retiring. Teller's probably gonna be traded or not here next year. And now we're back to square one. Ethan Posick has been getting destroyed. Andy Dickerson needs to be gone. Our whole offensive line is probably going to be revamped next year. If they disrespect my boy Nick Chubb by not playing him next week and we lose, I'm going. I might have some choice words. Y'all might see me at a different clip, because what you know what that shows me? That shows me that they care more about the business than they do winning. Because if they, you know they gonna sell out. You know them tickets gonna fly. It don't matter if we was 0-15, 16, 22. The second they say Nick Chubb is starting for the Cleveland Browns, that place is going to fill up and they are going to erupt the second he takes a handoff. And if they do that BS and we lose next week and Nick Chubb doesn't play, oh, I'm gonna be so disgusted with this organ. I'm gonna be so disgusted, because that shows me they shows me their MO. And I can't, and that's something that I'm not running for. That's something that I can't stand by that, bro. That'd be the most disrespectful thing that I've ever seen in my life. Especially being a fan. I can only imagine how Nick Chubb gonna feel. Y'all gonna make me flex this contract. Not only did he flex his contract, right, and make it to where it was friendly for this organization, he made it incentive based. And then we put him on a disabled list. And now we're sitting here week 5, week 6, talking about if he's going to be back or not. And how convenient. Oh, catastrophe. And we got a 3-game home stretch. Let's bring back the Batman, so we can at least make some revenue for the end of this year. Because if he don't come back, wasn't nobody going to that game. It was going to be a Bengals home game in Cleveland. Guaranteed. I'm sorry, I had to just get that in there before we get to the receivers. The receivers, overrated until further notice. I'm sorry. Y'all know how much I love the receiving corps at the offseason. I raved about it. I thought they had potential to be one of the best separation getters in the league. Come to find out, we're one of the worst. We are actually one of the worst until further notice. And I didn't see that. I didn't see that coming. Because you look at this and you be like, you got Amari Cooper. Jerry Jeudy has looked good the first 3 weeks. David Njoku was supposed to be coming back and making an impact. And you still failed to do anything good with Elijah Moore. And all of a sudden, the one thing that the Browns knew how to do was run screens. Am I wrong? The one thing the Browns knew how to do, because they would always run a damn screen. Hell, they'd run it twice in a row if they could. But I'm looking at this, and Jerome Ford has 3 receptions for 2 yards. David Njoku has 1 reception for 14 yards. We not even doing the things that we was once good at. So it's like, as much as I gotta sit here and ride until the wheels fall off, we need a soft reset, bro. Or some type of drastic change, bro. And the one thing that we're not gonna get, the one thing that we're not gonna get is Deshaun Watson getting benched. And at this point, and at this freaking point, bro, it almost if you're not gonna can coach, if you're not gonna force him to give up play calling, you almost gotta bench him. Like you really almost have to bench him to see if this team really don't want to play for him. Like, because if you're not gonna if you're gonna be hard headed and stummer like that, you have to test it. You have to see something, because you can't just keep going in here week in and week out. Like, you just can't. That's why I'm so confused and I'm so intrigued. And why I woke up this morning, I'm like, oh my God, it feels like Black Monday. Like that week 17 Monday after the games are over, when everybody's just waiting for that notification for people to get fired and stuff like that. Like, that's what it feels like we're waiting for. And if you're not going to change the offense and give it up, well, damn it, you might as well do what you do best, and that's play with mediocrity. We've always, like, think about that. We've always sat here and said, "Damn, why does this offense look good with minimal talent? Why can't we put?" We had Jarvis Landry, Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt, Odell Beckham, Baker Mayfield, David Njoku, all on the same roster. We had Joe Patonio at his best. Wyatt Teller was as stout as they came. We had everything sewed up, and yet we couldn't figure it out. The second those guys we got rid of OBJ and Jarvis Landry wasn't getting the target. Rashard Higgins became leading receiver. Harrison Bryant became a focal point. And Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb never got the duo tandem punch like we wanted, because they were seamlessly trying to web out the run game. The next year after that, we trade for Deshaun Watson. We bring in Jacoby Brissett. He makes Jacoby Brissett have a top 10 offense with backups essentially. And then we get all our talent back, and we can't do anything with the talent that we have. How is it that we can only thrive with media? If that's what Kevin's great at, get rid of everybody and get assets and get developmental players. If that's what he's great at, and you're not going to alter the offense, you're not going to change it because of whatever reason, you might as well do with what you do best, and that's with average talent. Like, there's nothing wrong with average talent, because the average talent is what got us 11 wins last year. But you clearly can't thrive with superstar talent, or I can't even say here and say superstar talent. You can't thrive with Pro Bowl talent, because you haven't shown it. So, how we feeling? Let's look at chat, man. Let's see what we feeling, man. Kyle, really, you are funny. Stop the hate. What is he saying? He said it's obvious how bad Watson is. He has the weapons to succeed, but he can't make the throws to make this offense good. If the first person isn't open, he then runs it. There's some truth to that. I mean, sit Deshaun Watson for a game. Maybe Winston gets a spark. But see, that's what we can't do, Corey. We can't do the one game here, one game there. Like, if you going blow it up, you going to blow it up. Like, but see, this is why as much as we learn from our mistakes, bro, it sucks. As we say, the Browns are not, I can guarantee you, they're not going to go from Deshaun Watson unless he gets injured. You know why? Because they saw how they debacled Baker situation. Both of them had blame in the Baker situation. Right? They burnt that bridge before they were still married, and the bridge was already, but like, they were sinking while the bridge wasn't even burnt. How does that make sense? I don't even know. Like, they lit the bridge from under the water while holding hands. Like, they can't afford to do that again. They already made the mistake. a couple mistakes. I just there's not many options, bro. There's not many cards to be played, and that's the tough part. Where do we go from here? Watson definitely panics in the pocket too much. When he finally gets the clean pocket in that, and that's what is kind of crazy. Like he needs to see it once and then see it again in order to make them like the jump. I feel like because it almost does, and that could be because you've been hit so many times. That could be because you're the most pressured quarterback. Like we don't. It's easy for us to sit here and critique it when we're not in that pocket and we're sitting here saying he's a one check guy. Like, yeah, it does look like he's a one read guy, but then again, he only has time to have one read. And when he does have the time to make more than one read, he's trying to. I mean, he's PTSD, just like with us Browns fans. Like, I don't know. If you guys want to join and voice your opinion and give a quick thought, we'll rotate them through. Join the Discord. You can join the Browns Therapy tab. It's open right now. We'll bring people in and you can voice your opinion. We'll get a quick comment and we'll kind of do it like the radio. So now's your chance. Forever hold your peace. Like, let's get this therapy session. I want to hear what you got to say, man. Because you guys got to get it off your chest, man. Team's bad, Watson's bad. Even when guys are open, he misses. Even when the ball's thrown in people's chests, they drop it. You can turn it each way. You can turn it each freaking way, bro. You draft our QB. What have I said? What did I say? Like, I think I said this before the season started. I know I said it week 1, and I know I said it the week after that. Andrew Berry is not going to hesitate to make a move at quarterback if it doesn't go as such. Hell yeah, he making a move at quarterback next year. Like it's inevitable unless Deshaun Watson peels off. Let's look at the schedule. Unless he beats Philly, beat Cincy, beat Baltimore, that's the conversation starter. We can't win Philly and then lose Cincy and then win Baltimore and then lose. Like you can't do that. He has to peel off 1, 2, 3 in a row. Like he has to. At the very least, he has to peel off 2 in a row. And how you lose to Baltimore? Because I mean, what? That's 3-5. If you lose to Baltimore, there's still hope, a little bit of hope. But if you don't peel off these next 2, I mean, I mean, I imagine he's looking at receivers. Hell yeah. Do you think some of it is that we don't play action pass anymore? Play action wouldn't even work anyway because we don't run the ball. I feel you, Gabe. You're at work and we're joining the therapy session, but all I want to say is I feel like the Browns fans are just as confused and have no direction and which way to go as much as the organization. This is the most confused I've been because I couldn't. There's no way we're there's no way we're 1-4, bro. Changes will be coming after this coming game against Kyle. I can't wait another game, bro. That's the problem. I can't wait. The organization shouldn't wait for another game. As much as Jimmy Haslam, like we started this off, as much as he's been involved, he need to come down and say, absolutely not. Absolutely not. We are not running it back this week. Hell no. We can't run it back. So you want Stefanski and Watson gone? I want a change. I want a change. Whether it be Deshaun Watson, whether it be the Dorsey change doesn't make sense until Stefanski gives him the offense. That's the only time it's gonna make sense. Until then, it, it's not gonna matter. How do is there a way that I can check something real quick? All right, let's bring in Chase and Truth on TikTok because I know he's in the comments a lot. What's up, brother? How you feeling, man? Yo, you can't hear me? I can hear you.
Very, very bad. It is trash. But I do agree with you on the aspect of I think that they are giving up on four. I think that four is the whole reason why this offense is bad because they've done everything they can to try to cater to him, but it's definitely not helping. And I think that changing quarterbacks, getting a guy that Kevin really wants, and somebody that can really mold his offense in the way that he wants to run things. I think we would take off because we got away from the run game and running the ball when we got Deshaun. When Baker was there, we relied heavily on Kareem Hunt and Nick Chubb. We were running the ball left and right. But the moment Deshaun got there, we started catering more towards the passing game. And I think that Jimmy has not stepped up not stepped up and has done anything about it because he stepped in to get Deshaun there in the first place. Andrew Berry said no at the beginning and wanted to give Baker the franchise tag, let him play one more year out, see how he was going to do. But then Jimmy stepped down and was just like, nah, let's go get a better talent to try to win a Super Bowl this time around. I mean, that's my opinion on it. I may think differently. I'm just looking at it from a different perspective and a different light. But, maybe if it keeps going the way that it is, maybe I'll be on my fire Kevin Stefanski train. But I think all the problems started when you tried forcing Kevin to do something that he is not normally, doing before. Because there's been times.
All right, Chase. Hey, I appreciate you, bro. I gotta get somebody else in.
Before.
I appreciate the support too as well.
Consistently, at least scored at least a minimum of 20 or more. We have not put up 20 points yet this season due to this offense, and I do solely blame this on Ken Dorsey and the new offensive scheme that he brought in, trying to force Kevin to do something different than what he normally does. I'm sorry I talked too long, man.
No, you're good, bro. I appreciate you, man. Thanks for the support as well, and I'll respond to your comments now. I appreciate you. All right. So, I mean, he made some valid points, right? The one thing I'll say is I'm almost positive we said the same thing with Baker Mayfield. I almost remember Baker Mayfield. We're not playing to his strengths and this and that. Like, it's the same song. It's the same story. Like, but granted, he has gotten the most. Like, I'm not denying that Kevin Stefanski hasn't gotten the most out of everybody. But we've been singing this same song. We've been trying to pull that get out of jail free card for a long time. So at some point you got to show admit on both sides. Exactly. Like, this is an organizational blunder. Like, this isn't just a one person thing. All right, next up we got Brown Solo. Yo.
Yeah, hello.
Can you hear me?
Okay, so I can't hear you, but I'm gonna make my point, right? I'm gonna start off with Stefanski, right? So I feel like I don't think we should fire him because I feel like he's done some good things and he's done some bad things. So I don't think one bad season with the records really should make him get fired. But I feel like a thing that makes some of his play calling bad is because hold on, wait, my bad. But the play looks like a good play, but just because it didn't work, it makes it seem like the coach had the bad play call. And another thing about Watson, right? I'm gonna switch to Watson right quick. I feel like they can't wait. Can you hear me?
Hold on, I don't know. Is it going now?
Okay, but
wait, which one is it?
My bad. So Watson, right? You've seen him make some really good throws throughout this season. Like he's had some ups and he's had some downs. So I really don't think Watson's the problem. Cause at least 1 week throughout every game this season, he's made a really good throw. Go back to the Raiders game last week. On that third and something at the beginning of the game, he stood in there, took a hit, and threw a beautiful ball to Elijah Moore for a first down.
So what is the problem then? What is the problem?
Versus the Giants, I think, what was it, 4th down late in the game when he threw that beautiful pass to Tillman that he dropped. And then in week 2 versus the Jaguars, where we actually won that game. It was like fourth quarter, third down, right? He threw a beautiful ball to
True.
Jerry Judy on the sideline. And then I think week 1 was really his worst game, but he did have a couple good throws. But I don't think Watson is solely though. I think everyone around him, like he is doing somewhat bad, but I feel like everyone around him is making him worse than what it seems to be. And one last thing, I said this like as soon as Baker left Cleveland. I feel like if he would have took the time to rest on his injury, he wouldn't have looked bad when he played through his injury. So we probably Baker would have still been in Cleveland if he played through his injury. But that's all I gotta say. Also, one last thing. I wouldn't be mad if the Browns traded Amari Cooper to the Raiders for Tay Adams. I feel like I don't know if it would be possible straight up, but if it was straight up, that would be a dub. But maybe like a third and a 6 maybe would work, or a second and a 7th. But that's all I gotta say. So peace out.
Appreciate you, bro.
Also,
Appreciate you, bro. Thank you, man.
DM me.
Hey, I respect it, bro. All right, shout out to everybody trying to join the chats right now. I respect it. He made some good points too. I just think I don't really know where he thinks the problem is. I wish he would have clarified that. I wish I could talk. I don't know why it's not letting me talk. But I wish he would have told us what the real problem was, because he didn't really give us that. But we gonna get in who's next up on here. I seen the Brew on Spotify was on. Let's bring him in. Yo.
Yo, can you hear me?
Yep.
I think you're muted, but
Can you hear me?
first of all, this is sick. I've been following you for like 4 years, so this is badass as hell. But I just made a YouTube video on it yesterday about like what the Browns problem really is. And at the end of the day, I truly believe that it's internally, it's coaching. I think there's a huge divide between the players and the coaching right now. I don't think that like the players have a problem with Deshaun. Like even Myles Garrett came out yesterday, like how he's riding with 4 or whatever. So my main problem right now with Browns fans is everybody wants to start Jameis Winston. I saw you made a video on it earlier today. If you sit here and really think that Jameis Winston's gonna be able to stand in that pocket and not throw more picks than Deshaun Watson right now, you're the problem, honestly. But what I want right now is I don't want to completely tank, but I truly do believe that we need a coaching change, either from stripping Stefanski from play calling or just getting Mike Vrabel in there in general. Firing Ken Dorsey, I don't even know. I don't know. We there's just too many problems to figure out. I think Jim Schwartz is fine, obviously. Like defense is fine. It's just we can't. Like our linebacking core looks good. Our rush defense looks horrible this year. Pass defense is all right. They didn't look all right yesterday, but I don't know.
All right. I appreciate you, bro. Thanks for the support as always, man. I'll set you on the next one. I know. I don't know why I can't get it. I hopefully he heard me. I hope you guys hear me on the back end. I appreciate you guys for coming in. I don't know why it's not letting me talk. On that end, like that doesn't make any sense. I don't really know. Hold on. Let me see if there's a way. I don't know why that's doing that. I don't know. What would you guys think about? What would you guys think about if Mike Vrabel like took over? Like, do you think we're a 1-4 football team if Mike Vrabel was our coach? 1's in chat, yes. 2's in chat, no. Do you think we would be 1-4 if he was our coach? 1's in chat, yes. 2's in chat, no. We gonna bring in who? Wait, there was somebody else that I saw. My boy Customs. My boy Cosmetic. Welcome. What's up, baby? Is he in? There he is.
Yo, what's good with you, man?
What's happening, bro?
I just want to say this, man. I've never been a Stefanski fan. Everybody say that he is a good quarterback, coach, or all this, and I tell people, Jacoby came in, he was a veteran. Joe came in, he's a veteran, and these are pocket quarterbacks. What have Stefanski done with RPO quarterbacks? Nothing. I always say his clock management, his personnel is very bad. He couldn't even come out. People, and I'm gonna get to this right quick. When we came out the second half, and everything that you spoke on, we drove. Deshaun Watson gets sacked, get plundered. The offensive line, of course, we know the offensive line is bad. So I always said, why would you have so many passing plays with a bad offensive line, have them running up and down the field, getting them tired? He's going to force an injury, and that's what happened the second week. So Deshaun Watson, after he tried to tell Foreman, because I don't know, Foreman was in a daze, delusional. He always trying to tell this guy to play. And Deshaun Watson see the Stefanski want to go for it. Of course, Deshaun did not like the play. He didn't like the setup from the coach Stefanski. So what does he do? He walks off because he look at it like, this is not going to work. What is this guy calling? Why are we out here doing this play? Let's get on. Instead of wasting the time out, I'm walking off the field. Stefanski like, what are you doing? This is what I'm doing.
There were 12 men. Yeah.
I'm helping the team out because you're calling in junk plays. You want to be in charge. We bring in Ken Dorsey. We don't know what he's doing. And Paul, and I forgot the guy name that supposed to be a content creator or something like that. It's so bad that you can't help me out because I can't hear you, but I know I'm gonna hear you on the back end. But it's just all bad. We need to get Stefanski out of here. We should have did this in the draft. We should have been upgrading the offensive line. We should have got a linebacker as we need, a real thorough linebacker. I'm not saying that our linebacker is bad, but and someone needs to tell Newsome to stop dancing around like a little treasure troll out there and play some defense because they're tagging you. Every team is. I'm gonna let you go, Zay, man. But enjoy. I'm gonna be on here watching you, man. Salute.
Appreciate you, bro. Hell yeah, man. I appreciate you. There was 12 men on the field with that play. But however, I will say this. I saw when they subbed him out, they were bringing in the heavy package. They were subbing out Elijah Moore. It looked like when they were subbing out on that, when there was 12 men in that huddle, it looked like they were bringing in a different package. So I wonder if it plays hand to hand. While there were 12 men on the field, the personnel was already there. Why would you bring in a different personnel when there's already, you know what I mean? So I wonder if there is some sense to he definitely didn't like that play call, because when you see it happening, I don't know if that's just Elijah Moore trying to get off because there's too many men on the field, but they sub in 2 more tight ends right before Deshaun Watson starts to walk off that field. But let's bring in, what did I see before that was in here for a minute? I think it's like I was gonna go on list, but it keeps Tone. Get my boy Tone in here. Let's get Tone in here. He been in here for wait. Did he end it off? Okay, Tone's gone. Let's get in. I think I saw. Who was it? Step Bro. I think I saw him in here for a minute. Yo.
Hey, can you hear me? Okay, cool. Hey, I just want to say, bro, honestly, what I think it is too is Deshaun Watson, when he's playing, I think part of the reason he's not making these big throws is because he's scared to throw that interception. Like, he already knows, like, everyone's going to boo, like, the boos are coming. I was at that the first game, and all I heard was just talking shit about Deshaun, which I get. Deshaun hasn't done himself any favors, but he's just scared to throw that interception. You could tell he's not wanting to make those downfield throws unless it's wide open. And I don't know. I don't think. I mean, I think Winston coming in will add a little bit of spark just because he obviously doesn't. He doesn't have as much on the line to say. I don't know how to say it, but he doesn't have as much pressure on him. We know what Jameis Winston in. He knows where Jameis Winston knows where he is. He's a backup. And as far as the defense goes, there's only 4 players I would keep. It's Myles Garrett, Denzel Ward, JOK, and Grant Delpit. Everyone else can get out of here. Like the Martin Emerson getting cooked, like deep. I don't know what's going on with him. He's getting cooked deep every time. He can't tackle. Greg Newsome, I think it's okay. The celebrations, it's having fun. It's still a kid's game at the end of the day. But he doesn't need to step up. He gets cooked too much as well. And then the defensive line, we're just old, bro. Like, I was not on the Zadarius Smith re-signing. I don't know how old he is, but I know he's like 32, 33. And Dalvin Thompson, he's all right. But Shelby Harris is not it either. He's not stepping up. I don't know. Like, that's what made the defense so good last year was that defensive line, was the pressure of bringing 4 and playing man in the back. We can't do any of that. Martin Emerson's too slow to play man. He's playing off 10 yards, so they just keep throwing these flats. I don't know. It's just too much. And then I saw a thing that Corey Bojorquez has been our best player. He's the one we look forward to because he's able to actually do his job right. So I don't know. If that's pretty much what I think. And as far as the coaching goes, I would just say, Kevin Stefanski needs. I just want to hear one of them say who's the one that's calling the plays, so we can know why the offense looks the way it does.
He's calling them
because my problem is they're like, oh, we're gonna play this 5-man protection and have 5 wide out with Deshaun to make Deshaun look good. Shocker, Deshaun is not looking good playing the 5-man. So why don't we go down to the under center and run the ball and just do what we do? Deshaun's not gonna look good no matter what. Like, he's not looking good in this 5-out protection. So let's just do what we do, run the ball and play action off of that. That's all I gotta say.
Hell yeah, brother. Appreciate you, bro, for coming on. You made some great points. I'm as big as an Emerson supporter as anybody, and man, it hurts seeing this man get cooked like this. I can't give up on my man like that. I just can't. But it's kind of funny. You look at our defense, and he says the 4 untouchable players, and it's funny how all 4 of those untouchable players have contracts more than 1 year. There's a lot of 1-year guys on this defense, man. This defense is not going to it's not going to look the same as it did last year, that's for sure. And as far as Kevin going under center, I don't know. He's anemic to it. I don't know if Deshaun's anemic to it. I don't know why he refuses to have so many receivers out there when your offensive line is the worst in the league. He should be having chips and blockers and stuff like that moving. That blows my mind out of everything. But you definitely made some good points. I appreciate you for hopping on, bro. Tone back on. Let's see if we can get him on real quick. Let's see if we can get him on. There he is.
Yo. You can hear me, bro? Okay, bet. Man, we're going through our identity crisis, man. This shit is getting sad, bro. It's getting sad. We're trying to please Deshaun instead of running what our 2-time coach of the year runs. Under center, run the damn ball, and play defense, bro. All this extra 5 out, spreading it out with these slow-ass receivers ain't gonna work. It ain't. Coop is a great receiver that can get open, Jerry can get open, and Elijah can get open. But all the trying to spread it out and go deep shots, Amari runs a deep shot, and the motherfucker so damn slow he throw his hands up. He can't do it. He cannot do it. And then let's go to Kevin. Kevin got to get some nuts, man. Kevin got to take back over this team. Unless we're going to put Vrabel in there and let Vrabel do what he's going to do. Vrabel going to let Ken call his offense, and we're going to run what Deshaun wants to do and let Deshaun spread it out and play what he want to play.
But Kevin trying to do in between. Sometimes he wanna get under center. Then sometimes he wants to spread it out instead of getting back to Cleveland Brown football, run the damn ball. And if, like you said, if we don't put Chubb in, this team is making a business decision once again. Instead of making a football decision for Nick and this team, we rather fucking sit Chubb and keep running this 5-out spread and shit instead of getting back to Cleveland Brown football. We're going through our identity crisis and it's sad, bro. It's sad. We winning for it. We're watching this every week. Sad.
Sad.
Every Browns fan is watching this. Sad, bro. Sad. Winston ain't gonna fix it. DTR damn sure ain't gonna fix it. We need to get back to running the damn ball with Nick Chubb and Jerome Ford and run the damn ball all game. And win with his defense. The defense that gave up. They on the field way too long. The defense is on the field way too long. They're getting out there. They stopped Jayden Daniels. Jayden Daniels been one of the best quarterbacks all year, bro. We neutralized him in the first half to a minimal games. They putting 3 and out. We back 3 and out. We putting offense back out there. The offense had like 20 yards in the first quarter, bro. The first half. Deshaun threw 24 passes and had 100 yards, bro. That 230 ain't working, bro. We got to get back to our football, bro. It's time to start over, Zay. We got to have a soft reset, Zay.
Yeah.
It ain't got to be a major one. We got to have a soft one.
Just a little one.
A little one. Like you said, just a little one. We got to get a new coach in there if Kevin ain't going to take back over. And we got to get us a quarterback. And we got to start this thing over. And keep Miles happy some way, shape, form. We got to keep this defense together, though.
Yes.
And get back to our football, baby. I'm gone.
Peace. Shout out to my boy Tone. Great points. You know what's crazy? It's funny because, that first play of the game. Don't tell me. See, this is why I hate it because I can talk live. Like, Kevin Stefanski, the reason why he's here is because of his offensive mind. But right now, he ain't doing it. Don't tell me Kevin can't scheme up plays for certain players. The very first play of the game, you ran the textbook Cleveland Browns offense, play action, bootleg, drop off down to David Njoku. Don't tell me you can't find it. Don't tell me you can't scheme it up. Don't tell me we can't get back to the basics. Because the very first play of the game, you made sure to get David Njoku the ball. That play was designed specifically for him. It was going nowhere else but 85. I got to get my boy Blue Jacket in here. Blue Jacket has been a tremendous, tremendous supporter. So let's get his husky ass in here because he's got a husky as his dog. Is that a husky? No, that's an Italian healer.
Can you hear me, Zach?
Yes, sir.
Perfect. Yeah, I agree with everything the last guy said. It's been frustrating. Defense itself, I do think the defense is not as bad as what we've been giving up late in games, giving up these big touchdowns. Even yesterday's game, in reality, that first half, we had Jayden Daniels, which would they have 16 drives in a row with points, and we shut them down for the most part. I mean, minimal stuff. Gave our offense an opportunity to do something. I also agree. I think it's frustrating watching this 5 wide. I don't know if we have the personnel for it, but I also just don't know if Deshaun's decision making is there either. Right? I think he's in such a panic mode that the defenses we're facing are just in straight blitz mode. They're literally sending all pressures. We have no ability. There's times where they're sending extra men. We know extra men are coming, and we can't get the ball out fast enough. So either it's play calling or something. We're just not getting them on their toes and getting back to Browns football where we can run the ball effectively, try to do some chips, try to help out some of our bad offensive line play that we're getting currently, and find ways to get the ball to the guys that are going to make plays for us. Get the ball to Jerome Ford. He existed last year. He had 500-600 yards. That dog don't even. It's like he's not even on the field at this point. Is he even playing? Our running backs don't exist. And even if we get Chubb back, as much as I love Chubb, he's one of the greatest running backs of all time. My favorite player in Cleveland Browns uniform. I don't think that changes much either. If we don't get back to what we are, we have no identity from an offensive perspective. We're just out here trying to play this throw the ball thing and getting in 3rd and long, and then it's just. We can't do anything. Defense is they're in 3rd and 9, 3rd and 10, 3rd and 12. They're getting behind the sticks because of false starts, because of holding penalties, and just stupid things, drop passes. And we're just putting ourselves in terrible situations. We've got to get back into 3rd and manageable to where Stefanski can actually do something.
And now talking about Stefanski, the one thing I will say, even yesterday's first drive, it was the first time all year I think we didn't score on an opening drive. Like that dude, he does scheme up the first drive so well. For some reason, after that first drive, it's like it just goes dormant. Like he becomes very static. We don't really do much. Like we're not helping our defense out at all, right? Like if we don't get to that early lead and we ride our defense to the end, like it's like we're completely screwed. And I don't know what changed in the Browns' mentality, if we were trying to keep up with the Ravens or we saw what the Bengals were doing. But unfortunately, we don't have T. Higgins. We don't have Jamar Chase. And you know, I love Coop, and I like Jerry Jeudy, but we're just not getting that separation, and we unfortunately don't have a quarterback that can get them the ball. He doesn't have the patience, he doesn't have the time, and it's like he's rushing things. Like even the plays where they had good plays, like I can think of one yesterday where Cooper made a sick route, and he came back to the outside wide open. And Deshaun throws it 5 feet in front of him. You know, like instead of hitting him in the chest, he hits him in the chest, he's possibly going for another 20, 30 yards easily. You know, like it's frustrating. Sorry for rambling there, but I definitely agree with the last guy. I think at some point, Stefanski's either got to make a change at quarterback or he's got to get back to Cleveland Browns football, start working on running the ball, being effective, trying to give our defense some time. Because the defense is good. They're just not going to be able to play if we're getting 3 and outs and we're getting 20 yards and a half and they're on the field the whole time, because at some point mistakes happen, right? They've missed a lot of tackles. We've had blown coverages, but those things are going to happen when you're playing elite quarterbacks and elite offenses, especially something like Washington, who for the beginning of the year has been an unstoppable force. That's all I've got to say. Thanks, Jeff.
My man. All right. So, you know, I want you guys to do yourself a favor. Go back besides the Joe Flacco era and look at Stefanski after the first drive. It's not just Watson. It's been a consistent theme. You can go back in the history and see that there's never been adjustments. There's never been anything good after the first drive and after that. Like if he does it, he either goes 4 plays, 60 yards, a minute 30, or he goes 13 plays, 70 yards, 6 minutes and 40 seconds. There is no in between. There is no in between. So if y'all think it's just Deshaun Watson, go back into 2020, at the end of 2020, 2021, 2022, 2023. Go back to those and look at it. And look at it. What you call has been on here for a minute, so we'll go here and then there. Where'd he go? Right here. Browns fan.
Can you hear me? Alright. So one thing I want to say is I was never a fan of the Watson trade to begin with, but that's besides the point. Besides the future now. We need to get into what's going on now. Stefanski needs to go, I think. Or he needs to give a play call. Something needs to happen. I don't think Dorsey's a great play caller either, though. I think either Brable or Schwartz need to step up and say something, or they coach this team. Now, Schwartz defense hasn't been as good as it was last year, but I think it's because I want to see the time of possession for these first 4 or 5 weeks and see what the time of possession is between our offense and our defense. Because it's probably a wide margin. And one thing Stefanski does do good is that first drive, like you guys have mentioned, it's scripted, so first 15 plays are always good. And then what do? We maybe score 7 points, 10 points the rest of the game. And Watson is also a big issue. I think Flacco did fit well in the Stefanski's offense. And some of our receivers right now, they know how to get separation, but we don't have that fast kind of receivers. We have guys that are good route runners and stuff like that.
That's true.
That's true. Established more of a run game that has been, I don't know what we're doing. And if they think Chubb's going to come back to save this team, then they're totally wrong, because this line is absolutely putrid. As much as I love Chubb can't fight off 7 defenders at a time. So, and yeah, so that's all I got to say. And have a good day.
All right, brother. Schwartz is never going to do the head coach thing. I think he made that clear that he's done doing the head coach thing. I'm sure if he was put into that situation, he'd probably take it, but I don't think he wants to do the head coaching thing. You mentioned the time of possession thing. I think the time of possession isn't as bad as we look at it on the box score, but I think a lot of that has to do with some of the garbage time BS drives that we've pulled together at the end of the game, which would those we're down X amount of points and we mustered up as 9-play, 7-minute drive when it doesn't even matter. Like that skews the time of possession so much. And then you made a really good point. We raved about the separation that these guys can create, but while they can create space, they're slow as hell, and that's a fact. We hoopin wish we hoopin been waiting for a minute. Matt's been waiting for a minute. Daniel's been waiting for a minute, and then we'll get back up here to the top.
Yo. So I was just like looking at it, and I feel like our big problem is we want to be in the 5 wide, like everyone's been saying. But if you look back at it, when we were doing good, we made the playoffs. A lot of the best plays were when you used to appreciate was when we were in the heavy package, 2 tight ends running the ball. And I feel like we've seen none of that. No heavy packages, and everyone's saying that Watson's making the decisions about throwing the ball, but even in his pressers, he talks about how he wants to be running the ball. He wants the ball because that's Cleveland Browns football at the end of the day.
Yeah.
And then the only thing else I wanted to say was I'm sick and tired of everyone talking about Baker and Joe Flacco because they're gone. There's nothing we can do about it. We love them, but they're gone. And yeah, that's all.
All right, brother. Thank you, man. I love it. I'm tired of the Baker and Flacco stuff too. It's hard not to talk about it now. It really is. But I think we do need to put that to bed. I do wish we can get back to the heavy package stuff. Like that's where our bread and butter was. Where did he go? Where did Cloud just go? I was looking. Cloud's been on for a minute. I was just about to bring him in next, but he's gone. Let me make sure I get the people who have been here for a minute. I know I've seen Dolly. I think Evan's been here. Matt. I said Matt. Here we go. Hello? Yo, Matt, you there? You're there you are.
I can't connect with Ilya. Mom.
You can't hear me. You just got to talk. For some reason. I don't know why.
Hang on.
Mic won't work. Your mic was working. Matt. My mic doesn't work. Okay, he's gone. Mr. Dolly, Mr. Donnelly Gaming. Let's get it, baby. There he is.
Hey man, how you doing?
Good.
I just wanted to say that it starts with the head coach. He's supposed to be the leader of the team. As much as I like him, he's the reason why this team is not performing. I mean, you can look at every game, like even last year, the year before. I don't care if he won Coach of the Year. He's supposed to be the leader, and that he lost this team this year. It just seems like Watson doesn't want to play with them. Cooper isn't playing as good, and I think it's because of him. And I think Stefanski doesn't believe in the style of offense that we're running this year. And he's just not being the leader that we need. Something needs to change. We either fire him, or we need to hire within Vrabel or just somebody. Something needs to change. We either keep Watson and hope that he'll get back to form, or we look in the draft, nothing's going to change because the offense line is horrible. We all know that. But it can't be as bad as Watson's been playing. So what's going to happen? I mean, are we going to make a trade? Are we going to what are we going to do to fix this problem? Because if we lose this week, I almost guarantee you Haslam's going to be making changes because he's not going to put up with it. We all know Haslam is known to make changes during the season. So, I mean, I don't know if it's going to be Stefanski, but that would be the obvious choice because, I mean, he paid $230 million for a quarterback. So, I mean, obviously he's going to stick with that quarterback. So the obvious choice would be Stefanski. So, that's just all I really wanted to say. It's just, I'm just angry because I've been a Browns fan for 32 years.
Yeah, no worries,
I'm hoping
man.
he can win a Super Bowl, but I don't know. I mean, I feel bad for Miles. I just want him to win a Super Bowl. I don't know if he can win that here. So, I'll leave with that, and you have a great day,
All
man.
right, brother. Appreciate you, man. I feel you, bro. What are we gonna do? What are the changes, bro? Your guess is as good as mine. We're sitting here trying to figure it out. I really hope they make a change this week versus next week because I can't bear another loss. We need something. So we're gonna get through these last. We're gonna get through these last few people here: Evan, LPZ, Mike, Kyle, Sura, Tone, and then got the Galaxy Face dude, and then we're gonna end it there. I think I have another podcast I have to do at 11:30. So let's get Evan in here first. Where'd he go? Boom.
Yo, what's good, Zay?
What's up, bro?
So the biggest thing that I gotta say is just I think the biggest thing we miss is Bill Callahan and being up in front and holding accountable for the guys up front. Like Dewan Jones has looked awful this year. Now, to give him credit, he is going against good lines. He went against Jacksonville. They got good people on their line. Josh Allen, Washington line they said wasn't as bad, but they got Bobby Wagner and Luvu who are good in the middle that can conduct their defense really well, I think. And other thing that I want to point out that I think Watson this year, he's played a couple of good games. I think Jacksonville was solid. I think the Raiders game he played was legit. I just think there was a couple bad calls and a couple of misplays. But other than that, I think he threw great balls. Who would you want to see us get then? If we're leaving with Watson, who's the guy that we bring in to fix? Because you said Stefanski's play calling and all that stuff. Like, obviously, we need a guy under center. So who would be the guy to put in Watson's place in that situation? And I'm gonna leave with that. I appreciate it though.
All right, bro. Shoot. Who would I put in? Like, are you asking who was replacing Watson? I don't freaking know. I like. Here's my thing. Here's my thing with the replacing Watson thing, which is why, like, I feel like we can nip, like, at the very least, we can almost kill two birds with one stone because if Kevin Stefanski just comes out and says, "That's it, I'm relinquishing playoff duties from now on. The offense will be in Ken Dorsey's call." Blah, da, 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 and then our offense still looks the same. Then it's easy to move on from Watson, and then you pick who Stefanski wants because clearly Stefanski may have a go. But like, I don't. Right now, there is no replacing Watson. That's the thing. Unless he gets injured, we're gonna Titanic Watson to the bottom of the ocean, to the bottom of Lake Erie. So I don't know, man. You're the question is I wish I had an answer for you, bro. I really did. I really do because I don't know either, man. But that's what I'm waiting to see. All right, let's get LPZ in. Bard, you can go to.
Yo, you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yo, all right. So going off of Evan's point, I don't think, like you said, I don't think we move off of Watson. I think we go look at Will Campbell or Calvin Banks or somebody in the draft that's gonna hold us together on the line. Because Chad Willis is dog shit. He's terrible. Dewan Jones is out of shape. He looks awful this year. Our receivers, like everybody said, I think our receivers are pretty decent. It's just Watson. He just looked off with his decision making. It's not there. Stefanski, I'm not a big believer after last year. Like he coached decent, but it was Flacco that was running it for real. He was doing it. Kevin wasn't doing that for real. Like everybody else said too, Vrabel. I think it's Vrabel's time. I think Kevin's done. I don't think he's here no more. I didn't get to watch the game either like that yesterday because I was at work.
You ain't missed
I
nothing.
could assume it was pretty much the same shit as every other week. Nothing new. You're not getting the ball out fast enough. He holding on to the ball, taking sacks and shit. Something has to change. We lost Stump and we lost Bill Callahan. 2 major losses. I don't know, man. Who do we play this week?
Philly.
Do you know?
The Eagles.
Oh.
The Eagles. The Eagles.
Yeah, if we lose this week, man, I don't know. Like he said, Jimmy Haslam, he gonna be coming down on some heads. I don't know. I don't know where we go after that. I don't think we take a quarterback in the draft either because the quarterbacks don't look the greatest to me. This year's draft class doesn't look the best. So I don't know, man.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I appreciate your content, though. I'm gonna leave it off with that, though.
Hey, appreciate you, bro. Hell yeah, I appreciate you, man. They definitely. Oh man, I don't know, bro. Somebody said, think about it. We fired Stefanski. No other team in the NFL would even think about hiring him as a head coach. Is that true? Because I think that may actually be true. That there may be some merit to it. I think there would be some teams that would take a flyer on him. But would Kevin Stefanski be some hot commodity if he were to come on the market? Like, are you calling, let's say, John Harbaugh, Mike Tomlin, and Kevin Stefanski and Zach Taylor all get fired? What's the order and they get hired? Tomlin, Harbaugh, Stefanski, Taylor? Tomlin, Harbaugh, Taylor, Stefanski? Harbaugh, Tomlin, like what's the that's a good, you know? What's up, Tainted? That's a good point. That's a very good point. All right, we got Mike Dollar. Mike, you there? Mike, we cannot hear you. Mike, we cannot hear you. Tone, I got you. You'll probably be after him. Get everybody in first. All right, Mike, I'm sorry, bro. We can't hear you. All right, Mike. I'm sorry, bro. We can't hear you, man. Kyle is next. Kyle Phillips. What's up, Brody?
Alright, can you hear me? Alright. Hey, I'm sorry, I'm at work right now, but honestly, going back when you said about Kevin Stefanski, if he would leave the Browns and all that, or like, if he does or anything, I honestly think the Jaguars will fucking pick him up. Oh, sorry for cussing. I didn't mean that. I think the Jags would pick him up. Honestly. Because if you look at the Jags would scoop him up so fast because I think it's their head coach holding the Jags back. But going on to our wide receivers, we have Kadarius Toney. I think everyone forgot about that. He's fast. He's super, super fast. I know he can't catch the ball, but Amari Cooper can't catch the ball. Jerry Jeudy can't catch the ball. So how come we can't try Kadarius Toney? He's super fast. He would actually be open. If Kadarius Toney had that 50-yard run that Cooper had the ball yesterday, and Cooper wasn't open, we're throwing into double coverage all the time. But honestly, I think we should try Kadarius Toney out one time, and I honestly think that the Browns defense is doing amazing. Honestly, they're on the field for the whole freaking game. Like we're out there. I think we didn't get our first down until almost the second quarter.
Yeah.
When I was watching that game. Yeah. And, Jaden Daniels, he's a superstar. He's kind of like Lamar Jackson. But we should have knew about that. We had 5 weeks now to watch what he's been doing. And I don't think Kevin Stefanski and Deshaun Watson, I just don't think they mix well. I think Deshaun's trying to do too much in the pocket, and none of my receivers are open. You can see that too. Like if you go back to plays like that last play when Deshaun Watson got sacked or whatever, there was no one open because he's trying to scramble because our offensive line sucks, and he can't. No one was open to throw it to. But when Nick Chubb's coming in, and I don't really think he should come in until probably our home game because this Eagles game we are going to get blown out. I'm sorry, I have no. I just don't trust the Browns against the Eagles. But that's all I have to say. I'm sorry for cussing. I love you, Zay. I bought all your shirts and everything, so I love you.
Hell yeah, let's go. Shout out to Kyle, baby. Shout out to my boy Kyle. W Kyle in chat, man. Hey, no cap, that may be the best point we've heard all day. And I didn't know where he was going with that, bro. Because the second I heard Kadarius Toney, I'm like, oh no, here we go as Browns fans. But the follow-up was so pretty. That man said Amari Cooper can't catch. Jerry Jeudy can't catch. Nobody can't catch. Hell, why the hell not bringing a guy who's at least fast? Bro, that's a fair point. Like, that's a fair point. I can rock with that. And the defense definitely ain't the problem, man. The defense, they did give up towards the end of that game, and I would have given up too. But I'm not worried. Once I see them give up at the beginning of the game, that's when I'll be worried. I'm still holding on to faith to our defense. They're the only thing that we can look forward to. All right, who we got left? We got 3 more. Is he still on here? He's gone. So we got Galaxy and then Tone. Yo.
Yo, can you hear me? Alright. So, being 1-4, I've seen a lot of people put just the blame on one person, but being 1-4, it's kind of stupid to do that. But I do look at Kevin Stefanski, and I know it's one blame, but he is the guy to have multiple people put in the right place to succeed. And he hasn't done that week in, week out. We haven't been prepared. And we're getting, this O-line is bad because I don't know why, honestly. But it's been bad. We've been beat by the same blitzes, and the defenses have realized that. And, I just want to know what happened to Jerome Ford because I see a lot of hate, but he's underrated in my opinion. He is hesitant in the run, but he does have that ability. And last week, Foreman was 4 carries, 1 yard per carry. Why are we sticking him having the most carries out of the team? He did get those yards in garbage time, but I think the biggest problem is I don't know what goes on in that locker room, but Deshaun Watson has gotten all the attention because, he is getting paid all that. But I think maybe there is divide in the locker room because we've done the most to put him in the places to quote unquote succeed. And we haven't tried to, what's the word? He's been the main focus, and maybe players are like, they're not getting, maybe they feel they're not getting looked at. That's all I want to say. And, love the content. I watch the podcast, the Honor Lamb podcast every week. Gets me ready for the game. I love it. That's all it is.
Let's go, baby. We should have a new Honor the Lamb podcast coming out soon. I appreciate that support, bro. It means a lot. Us picking up blitzes is we can't. We couldn't pick up a blitz if it was standing right in front of us, which it is every single week. I don't understand. I don't understand why we can't pick up the blitz, but it is. And I glamored for D'Onta Foreman. I was wrong. There was a reason why I guess he wasn't getting the carries. Jerome Ford should be getting it until Nick Chubb is back. At least we know he has that explosive ability to peel one off at any given moment. wrap this up. We're gonna bring in Tone one last time. He must got something else. Somebody must have said something for him to bring his butt back in here. Oh wait, Mike is back on. Let's see if we can get Mike real quick. Because Mike wasn't working. So let's see. We can bring him back on real quick. Mike, you there?
Hello?
There we go.
Yeah, I just want to say, man, we should just build the offense around Deshaun and just see where it goes. Because, you know, he do the spread off. They're doing this fancy offense, and ain't working for him. And plus, we have no speed at receiver. Cooper doesn't want to be here anymore. We can tell. Just trade him. Let him go. Judy doesn't get open. But where's the quick game for Deshaun? Spread it out for him. Slant. Crossing route. Drags. I know Cooper and Judy can beat the linebacker. So if you have some speed down the field, that's going to open up everything. Stretch out the field for him. And the defense, yes. We played a little bad yesterday, but we on the field all day yesterday. We keep getting 3 and outs, and 3 and outs. Build it around Deshaun. If it doesn't work, you know it's Deshaun's fault. Because he's not playing good. But if you spread it out, you spread offense, RPOs, let them go with the quick game, screens, slants, drags, crossing. Man, we be fine. If it don't work, it don't work. But I love your content. I'm going to keep watching you, man. Keep doing your thing.
Appreciate you, bro. I appreciate you, Mike. Sadly, I think they did try to build the offense around him, but you are right. You know, I was doing my highlights, and it's almost, is it every play? I might need to watch some more. I might need to watch a lot of film. I might need to watch some film, because let me just get this. Hurry up. Let me see if. Oh wait, matter of fact, I got it on my thing already. I don't need to go on here. I need to see. Hold on, where's that? Because it's boiling me. It makes me so mad, bro. What's that noise? Blake, appreciate the gifts, bro. Oh wait, that's the wrong one. Is this it? That's not it. Did I sit here and think of? Is that it? Where is the? Okay, maybe I do need that. There's a play on 2nd down or 3rd and 5 for the Browns in the second quarter, I think. And just look at the route scheme that we choose. It just pisses me off, bro. Come on. Oh wait, I think I have it on my highlights. Oh, I didn't edit the video on this. That's why it's not on here. My fault, chat. My fault. Just give me 1 second. Let me see if I can find it. I just want you to see why this is so stupid. Boom. This play right here. Look at this play. Look at this play. Shotgun set, 3rd and 5, 2 minutes to go in the second quarter. You got an opportunity to go get points on the board. You clearly see they're sending the blitz. Why wouldn't they send the blitz? They've been sending it all day. You got 3 receivers lined up at the bottom, and you got a tight end lined up at the top. What do you think you should do here? What's open? What do you think's going to be open here? What should you be doing in the situation in 3rd and 5? I'm looking dead at where you should be going with the ball. This is all open right here, right? This is all open right here. Watch how many people are in that area. Why are we designed? We need 5 yards. We line up in a shotgun set, so now we need 10. He drops back 5 more. We are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 yards. 14 yards away. Yeah, look at the offensive line. Pocket already collapsed. He's not even in his drop back yet. And we ran nothing in the middle. Where are those 3 receivers that were at the bottom of the screen? Where are the 3 receivers that were at the bottom of the screen? They are on the out. This is the design that you call before halftime on 3rd and 5? I about flip my mother loving head when I seen this, bro. Look, Deshaun is already 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 yards away from the ball. 1,000, 2, 1,000. Pocket's already collapsed. He doesn't even have a time for the route the route can't even develop because we are sending them too far on routes. This should have been. He's not even off the line of scrimmage. He's not even off the line of scrimmage. And then our receivers are just. Elijah Moore should be slanting in. This should be in. That's a first down right here. It's a first down. Slant in. Instead, we're breaking out. This is on 3rd and 5. He's still running. He's not even. The chain is right there. He should be making a move to the chain. Instead, he's not. I saw that and I wanted to flip. Bro. Because that's the scheme. That's the play calling. Your coach gave the okay to be like, yeah, we're not going to go anything into the middle. We're going to call a play that's going to take a 5-step drop back to develop on 3rd and 5 when you only need 5 yards. They were 14 yards away from the ball in the drop back. Instead of needing 5, you now need 14. That should be a 5-yard play. Should be a drop back. It should literally be no more than 3 steps. It should really just be say go, drop back, quick throw. Let your guys get the yak. I'm just frustrated. But let me calm down a little bit. I want to say thank you to everybody that joined the live. That was fantastic. That went way better than I thought that would go. And I appreciate you guys for being, respectful and not doing anything crazy. We're gonna start doing this a lot more often. Bringing in the fan interaction. I'm gonna find out how to get it to where my microphone works. So now that I know that this is something that I want to do, maybe we even do something every day where we go live and we just bring people in and we have like a little dialogue conversation. I like that a lot. And I appreciate you guys. This was fun. I hope you guys enjoyed today's therapy session. I feel a lot better. I'm glad we talked about this. I'm glad you guys got to talk about this. And we got it off our chest. I'll re-upload this to the channel for everybody who didn't see it or is just now coming in. And I'll keep news posted, updated. Obviously, if there's any news coming up or anything like that, you guys know what time it is. We'll be on the watch for the next 2 weeks for sure. So have a good day, everybody. I love you guys, and peace.